those who are at home, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you know exactly what's going on in the Pontiac School District. Welcome to the wonderful members of our community and our district sitting in the audience today, and staff. Thank you for being here. Board trustees, this is going to be a wonderful meeting because there's some great recognitions that we need to get through. That's how we like to start our meetings, and I'm very excited about that. Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Trustee Bowman.
Present.
Trustee Kraft.
Here.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Present.
President Garrett.
Present.
VP Gross.
Present.
I am here. And Treasurer Terry.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Okay. Thank you so much. And now we turn the meeting over to our PSD JROTC. If we could now stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Need a motion on the floor to. Hold on one second. We're going to add two items. One under to amend. I need a motion on the floor to amend the agenda to place under regular board agenda, Board of Education, under discussion and action A, under B. So it'll be two discussion items. Two discussion items. B. Marvin Beasley as interim facilities director, and that would be under discussion and action item. And then if I can take a 2-minute recess, because I have to get the proper wording from the attorney, and he's not sitting there right now. So give me 1 second, please. Y'all can play the Jeopardy theme song too. Is he here? Is he here? All right, thank you. All right, thank you. Okay. That little boy is making it very, I love it. I wish I had a chair I could sit him right up here next to me. I'm telling you. No, he can talk as loud as he wants. This is a kid-free zone. He want to do cartwheels in the audience, he can right now. We're going to move down to another regular working agenda. It'll be discussion and action. Item C, termination of RJC consulting contract. Okay, so for clarity's sakes, the motion is to amend the agenda to add under discussion items and action items under the regular working agenda. It'll be B, Marvin Beasley, named as interim facilities director.
Yes.
And C, termination of the RJC consulting contract. Need a motion, need a second.
Second.
Already motioned, I need a second. Who's the second?
So move.
Second by Troy.
Yes. Got it. You got it.
Yes, that's to amend the agenda. It was motioned by Garrett, second by Kraft. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Trustee Kraft. Trustee Davis Smith. Yes. President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry
Yes.
and Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. Need a motion on the floor to approve the amended agenda to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
So
Support.
moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Kraft. Terry, excuse me. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
7-0.
All right, thank you. Now that we have a regular working agenda, we can get down to the business of the district. My favorite part of this agenda is the awards and recognitions. Dr. Kimberly Leverett, the meeting is yours.
Thank you, President Garrett. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening,
This
ma'am.
is an exciting time where we have several recognitions presented this evening. Our Pontiac Board of Education School Board recognitions, and we will start with interim principal, Mrs. Clark Franklin from Pontiac High School. Mrs. Clark Franklin.
You said all aboard need that. She get nervous. Don't get nervous. Here.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
You know what?
Santa Claus is coming to town.
That's for me? Thank you.
Thank you. Awesome. I'm excited. I don't even know. Okay, why y'all not opening it? What are y'all doing?
I'm curious to know what's in the box.
I'm opening mine.
Open in the box.
I'm not waiting. I'll be it.
Thank you.
I'll be it.
Thank you.
Christmas is.
No. Don't you want to open it?
I'm opening mine.
So
I'll be the
that's all I know. Thank you. It's not on.
Thank you. I'll do it.
Oh, this is beautiful.
What in the? Ma'am, hold on, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Ma'am, hold on, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on, ma'am. Hold on. Come on, Dr. Leverett, hold on, ma'am.
Okay, so you have
Quick kid to Christmas Day.
Pontiac High School from Mrs. Clark Franklin. You also have a token of appreciation from Alcott Elementary School, and you also have a token of appreciation from Human Resources. But Mrs. Clark Franklin, did you want to have anything to say to the board on behalf of Pontiac High School and your staff, please?
Good evening. Could you use the mic for the audience at home? Okay.
Good evening.
Good evening, ma'am.
Just want to give you a small token from Pontiac High School to thank you for all that you do, the leadership that you provide. And I just want to ask President President Garrett to open the small box first.
I'm gonna give it to the vice president. Open the small box.
Make sure it's not ticking.
It's a note of appreciation.
You know what?
Ms. Clark Franklin, don't pay these trustees no mind. Oh, this was Sadie. Oh my goodness. Okay, for those who don't know, we have my partner in crime. I've been a police officer here 26 years. My partner of the last 2 years has been Deputy Sadie. She's our comfort and emotional dog, and she's all around the district. We take her to the high school, middle school. We spend a lot of time in the community, and thank you so much we're gonna be mad. She is gonna be super excited. We're at the little Phoenix. I can't wait to see my other folks, my other handlers kind of see this. They're gonna be a little jealous about this. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sadie. All right, thank you. All right, Trustee Bowman.
Thank you all so much. I am so grateful for the board appreciation gifts. It is always one of the most favorite times of the year. So with that being said, while everybody else doesn't, I'm gonna open up mine so that everybody can see what we got.
Okay, and I wanted her to get her comments out right now. So we got 2 more presentations. So thank Ms. Clark Franklin. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Dr. Leverett, the meeting is yours.
Thank you. Do we have ITA?
Oh man.
I can name this. That's what's up.
Good evening, Interim Superintendent Dr. Leverett and Board of Education. My name is Michael Motsney. I am a teacher at the ITA building. I'm enjoying my 20th year in the district. And I am in here in place of Matthew Carafa, who is indisposed this evening. And it is my pleasure to present to you a brief presentation by the Principal Council over at ITA that has a small little gift for you. So without further ado.
Hello, I'm Axel Alvarado. I'm a 10th grader at ITA. I'm the president of our Principal's Council. Our purpose is to get insight from our students and our staff, trying to discuss the solutions with our council, and then bring those solutions and concerns to the administration so we can promote a orderly environment.
Good evening. I am Isis Humphrey. I am the 8th grader at ITA. I am the vice president of the Principal's Council. Even though the Principal's Council is very new at ITA, we have already started exploring how we can improve the ITA experience. For number 1, we have the disciplinary committee to facilitate and improve behavior in our students. Number 2, we have earning credits for after-school activities. For our number 3, we have fundraising ideas, field day, school dances, vending machines, and dress your way. And for our last one, we have a buddy system for elementary school students, assisting our younger students in transitioning from classroom and back, also bus times afterwards. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sierra Moa. I'm a 10th grader at ITA. It's my first year serving on the Principal's Council in position of a secretary. For Board of Education, recognition, we've come together and created a gift. We use skills we learned in school and some help from our teacher, Mr. Motsney, and Principal Carafa. There's skills we used are computer aid, design, 3D printing, and 3D printing. We used CAD to design our sign and then 3D printing to print out our design. And then the power of the Principal's Council, we put everything together.
Hi, my name is Brittany Lopez. I am a 9th grader student at ITA, and I am the spokesperson of the Principal's Council. We want to give you this sign as a way to show our appreciation for the Board of Education and their administrators. And from this day onward, we would like to work together with you guys to maintain a good educational environment. So here's our sign we made.
Oh, wow.
I gotta
put it up right here.
So, right there.
We need to put it up right now.
How did you make you made it out 3D printing out of the,
Yes, we used computer aid design, and then we printed it out with Mr. Monte's help.
Nice, nice.
Wonderful, wonderful.
wow. All right. Well, thank you so much. As a matter of fact, we're trying to, I know exactly where that's going.
Yes, wonderful.
Right there.
Right there.
Do you guys have any questions for us?
No.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
That's nice.
Yeah, we're going to talk about duplicating this.
All right.
That's nice. That's nice.
And we have one more from Pontiac Middle School.
All right.
With the jacket. Nice.
Board President Gil Garrett, Interim Superintendent Dr. Leverett, distinguished Board of Trustees and district leadership. On behalf of Pontiac Middle School, we want to thank the Board of Education for your commitment to ensuring that every child in the district receives a quality education. Thank you for leading our district with passion and love for the children and for the staff. Your support of us is greatly appreciated. So today, we honor each of you for your service. Thank you for being amazing. And we'd just like to give you a token of appreciation. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Are you opening that one? Go for it. Your name on it?
All right. Comments from the board. Thank you so much. Comments from the board. Trustee Craft.
I'm loving this. I'm really loving this. I mean, look around. I didn't get nothing for Christmas, but I'm loving this. Thank you, everyone.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Terry.
What can I say? This is awesome. This is awesome. I know we do our work and we put in our time and effort and we do it, without any expectation. So just to receive some gifts and just the time, the thought, some of these that it took to put together and everything, the effort, and just to be thought about, not just a board up here just doing work all the time, but just to be thought about and appreciated. I want to say thank you to everybody that's provided some gifts to us, and you can pretty much assure that they will get put to use. Thank you. Thank you.
Trustee Davis Smith.
I'd like to thank everyone for the beautiful gifts. It's actually a gift for me to be able to serve you guys. And I appreciate you all for all the hard work that you actually do. And I'm just grateful that I'm here to be able to support you all. So this is just an extra blessing to me. And I really thank you guys so much.
All right. Thank you, Madam Secretary.
Yeah, just like Trustee Quana said, we really do appreciate all the hard work that you do. And it is a labor of love for us to be here and do the work that we do. But again, thank you for acknowledging us for our service.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Vice President, sir.
Thank you, sir. I haven't been lost for words. Thank you. No, we appreciate, listen, it's an honor and a pleasure to serve you, to our students and our staff. It's an honor and a pleasure. I'm into my 12th year as a board member. And I've seen many of these, but today, this has truly touched my heart because it comes from all of you, including our students. So thank you. Thank you. You, listen, trust and believe when I say this. All of you are a blessing to me because I'm 207 years old and I feel like I'm 22 because of what I do for you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Listen, I think all the trustees have pretty much said all the things that I wanted to say. There's no us without you, period. And we know that, we understand that, we respect that, we honor that, and it shows the work that you that you've put in for the next recognition, that we have coming up. We have some very strong young men and women in our district that's doing some amazing things. And we may make the decisions, but you guys do the executions. And I promise, and I tell folks this all the time, we may not be your first choice, but we're definitely going to be your best option. And so I appreciate each and every last one of you. We will continue to do what many say is hard, but when I look at the kids that come here and the things that they do, the decisions that they make, they're not hard. I don't deal with adult issues. I deal with kid solutions. And that's what we're going to continue to do as we move this district forward. So thank you so much, Superintendent. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is now yours. We're moving down to recognition B. He's not even here. Which one? Let's say that.
Thank you, President Garrett. So each and every day, we have students, we have staff that work diligently to make the right choices and always say, do the right thing at all times. And I'm very proud that we have several students and staff from Pontiac Middle School that will receive this recognition. Certificate of Distinction. This certificate is proudly presented to Jade Collins for her commitment to excellence in learning. She is always respectful to both her teachers and peers and sets an example of outstanding behavior each day. Congratulations and keep up the great work. Given this 22nd day of January 2024 in Pontiac, Michigan, from myself and President Garrett and the Board of Education.
All right.
Jade, please come forward. Certificate of Distinction. This certificate is proudly presented to Matthew Liu for always demonstrating respectful and responsible behavior. He is always willing to help support his classmates and his peers. He adheres to deadlines, follows directions, and exemplifies ideal student work. Congratulations and keep up the great work, Matthew. Lisette Alonzo Mauricio for her collaborative and supportive spirit with fellow students. She is inquisitive and respectful to both staff and her peers. She values her education and is committed to meeting deadlines. Congratulations, Lisette, and keep up the great work. Oh, there she is. Adam Polk, in recognition of his 100th career win as part of the Pontiac High School wrestling team. We congratulate him on this landmark achievement and continue to celebrate his many successes as a Pontiac Phoenix. Is Adam here?
He's not here. We're going to do
a
resolution and reread his certificate on the 5th along with the other.
Absolutely. Certificate of Distinction. This certificate is proudly presented to Liz Schilling for her leadership and commitment. She is incredibly supportive and very helpful to the entire Pontiac Middle School community through her role as both lead teacher and department head. Thank you, Ms. Schilling, for all you do. Mrs. Rush. For her leadership, Mrs. Cynthia Rush, for her leadership and unending support to the entire Pontiac Middle School community. Mrs. Rush shows our students and staff unconditional love and commitment in everything she does each day, given this 22nd day of January 2024 in Pontiac, Michigan. Mrs. Rush, Thank you so much for all you do. We appreciate you.
All right, thank you. If anyone from the dais wants, not this dais, but want at the podium want to make any comments or anything like that, feel free at this time.
Oh, Dr. Leverett, give them their bags.
Somebody wants to do.
Thank y'all again. All right, we're going to move down to any comments from the board at this particular point in time. Trustee Bowman.
I just wanted to say congratulations to everyone. Thank you so much for representing the Pontiac School District in whatever facet, whether it be you're a student, a teacher, principal. Thank you so much for representing our community in such a great way. We appreciate you. Thank you so much and keep up the good work. And thanks for all of the beautiful gifts again. This is fantastic.
Trustee Kraft.
I guess I will say something. I'm a little long-winded today. Yes, hey, I'm proud of all of you students for what you've accomplished, and especially Miss Cynthia. We go back in the day, back growing up here in Pontiac. Miss Rush. So I'm really speechless today, but I can say congratulations, everyone.
All right, Trustee Davis Smith.
I just wanted to congratulate the students again. Job well done. Keep up the hard work. There's no limits to what you guys can do. Also, congratulations again, Ms. Schillings and Ms. Rush. Thank you so much for all you do for our students. We really, really appreciate you, ladies.
All right, thank you. Trustee Terry.
Once again, I want to say congratulations to the students. Keep up the good work. Keep up the good examples to your other peers and everything, and continue to push forward. It will pay off. And then also I want to say congratulations to the teacher, Ms. Schilling, and also to the assistant principal, Ms. Rush. Want to say thank you for your services and all that you do, being that example for the students and letting them see that, you know, there's still good in some of us that's out there, and letting our kids also know that they're loved and appreciated and they will respect it in everything that they do. So thank you and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Madam Secretary.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations again. I want to say to the staff, thank you for your love and your commitment and dedication to our students. It shows in the recognition of these students here tonight. So we really appreciate you and your dedication. And to the students, continue to be leaders and continue to set these good examples for your classmates.
Okay. Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You know, I am so elated at this moment. And one, I want to say congratulations and the fine job you're doing, but I want to commend our parents. And
man,
I want to commend our parents. And I want to say this. I've been here, I'm born and raised here and a product of the Pontiac School District. And throughout the years, we've seen our children come and go. But you made the decision to trust this district with your kids. The superintendent, Dr. Leverett, and our board president, we made a point of that as part of this meeting, before we go into any school business, that we do what's best first. And that's to recognize our children, and our staff will work with our children. I hope that when people tune in, if anything, they watch and see this. Why? Because this can motivate others to do what you're doing. Because I guarantee you, you can come down here because this is your Board of Education. We will bring you here to showcase you. It's not about us. We're just a vessel to showcase you, our students, their parents, and our staff. So I thank you for the fine job you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. And just sprinkle a little bit more so this room will continue to be filled, because we want to recognize every student in this district, because all students and their parents are important. Bless you all. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Again, I share the same sentiments with my colleagues. Thank you to the parents again for making this your choice and your option. If we can take a 5-minute recess to give our kids the ability to kind of go home. They've had a long day and we don't want to keep them here throughout this meeting. So we're going to take a 5-minute recess and then come back and handle the rest of the business of the district. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Are we taking pictures?
No problem. All right. We good, Mr. Frank? Thank y'all. Thank y'all for sharing this moment in time. And listen, if this is the one part of the meeting that I would like y'all to like, share, and subscribe to is that when we start introducing our kids and what we're doing, the recognition of them, so the community get to see, exactly what's going on, right? Because we always got our little boxes and little mini computers in our hands, but we should always celebrate our kids. And if this is your first time joining our meeting and first time being here, listen, we think the business of educating our students is a love. It is a passion. You're supposed to have a good time. We're not stiff. We're not those individuals that you come in and you sound like robots and we just, figureheads, and then you pack us up, take the battery out and put us in the back and then use us next week anytime the superintendent wants to give a recommendation. Unfortunately, we don't operate like that. We're a little loosey. We believe in our kids. We believe in our staff. We believe in the people that we have in front of us. You're going to see us throughout the community, laughing, having a good time, but then also being serious about our business. You don't have to be as I would say, very stern when you're always handling the business of the district. If you're not handling your business and you don't love what you do, then I'm going to question why you do that. And so you will never be able to question. That's not because it's appreciation, board appreciation month. But you'll come back in June and this is going to be us when it's not so cold outside, and you're going to see us having a great time, and you're going to see us being able to enjoy one another. Because one thing that COVID had taught me during my particular process is that I got to enjoy the people that's around us at every moment, and we cannot take that for granted. And so please don't judge us harshly because we may laugh or we may have a good time and we're not stiff-lipped and we're not in shirt and ties. We'll get to that. We'll have a lot of events where we'll have some shirt and ties on, but in this particular, when we start recognizing our kids, we have to make them feel comfortable. So we begin to be comfortable. We like our staff to be comfortable. So we did have visitors in the audience, and y'all was looking at us like, oh my God, what am I getting myself into? Like they up there having a full blown laugh, having a great time. Ms. Bowman dancing and everything. What we doing? But we doing the business of the district. That's what we're doing. And so, recognition of elected officials. Are any elected officials in the audience? Okay, I don't see any, but I do have 6 trustees. Good evening. How y'all doing?
Good evening. Good evening.
Thank y'all so much again for being here. Consent agenda. Madam Secretary, if you could take roll call for consent agenda.
President Garrett,
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
And Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
7-0.
7-0.
We all voted okay for the consent agreement.
Oh, okay. I was just asking. Funny. We're going to move down to information from the Superintendent of Administration. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is now yours.
Thank you, President Garrett. At this time, I will turn it over to Felicia Jeter, and she is going to provide an overview of Leo. Felicia, I just want to say, has done an outstanding job in her role as literacy supervisor. Not only is she passionate about literacy, but she is passionate about how families can impact and support the community as a whole around it. So the Literacy Essentials from Oakland is going to be provided again by our literacy supervisor, Ms. Jeter, as well as Selena. And I have seen them several times throughout the district in classrooms and have joined them on walkthroughs. And it's just a lot of great teaching, learning, and leading happening under Ms. Jeter's leadership as it relates to literacy. So at this time, I will turn it over to Felicia for literacy updates around Leo. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Leverett. Good evening, board, trustees, members in the audience, and members at home. I'm here to present the updates for the Literacy Essential Oakland, also known as Leo Oakland, for the district. So the Literacy Essential Oakland initiative was organized by Oakland Schools in 2019. Pontiac School District is one of 19 schools to participate in this initiative. It is designed to support our district, our school district, with our literacy goals. The initiative is rooted and grounded in the MESA's essential instructional practices in literacy. In this document identifies the 10 research-based practices that should be implemented in schools and districts in order to support literacy. So we have one for K-3, but it goes from pre-K all the way to 12th grade. For Literacy Essential Oakland, we focus on K-3. In order to do this, we had developed a district literacy leadership team. This district literacy leadership team consists of central office staff, building administrators, teachers, coaches, interventionists, and a community member. And as you can see, this is the list of people who are on this team as well. Our mission and vision is the literacy leadership team will use data and research to increase achievement in the 5 literacy components, which is phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension by focusing on instruction, assessment, and family engagement. Our vision is to equip all Pontiac School District students with the necessary skills to be successful and independent readers, writers, problem solvers, and critical thinkers. So we want to make sure our students are ready for the world. I have with me Selena Range, who is our K-3 Leo coach. The K-3 Leo coach is funded by Oakland Schools, and she's going to tell us what you've been up to as well as some other information.
Good evening, everyone. As Ms. Jeter said, I am Selena Range, the K-3 literacy coach. So what we have been up to, Leo 2.0 Literacy Labs are a cohort of coaches and teachers from around Oakland County, where we participate in trainings around the essential practices, and we choose one teacher from the district to partner up and participate along with myself, who is the district coach. It also includes a formal coaching cycle with the participating teacher, and right now our focus is around our phonics first. The literacy team also participated in Whitman's Family Winter Fest. We conducted a training for parents to teach them how to enhance their students' literacy skills at home. And we gave them resources to take home, such as the Phonics First blending boards, the letter cards, and also some free books. We also trained them on how to use it. One of our content specialists, Mrs. Elnari, actually modeled to the parents how to use these resources at home with their students. We also gave out our contact information in case parents had additional questions for us after our answer and question session on that night. One thing that is exciting that happened is we were able to train at least 59 staff members in Phonics First, and that included teachers, administrators, and support staff. And then after that particular training, Brain Springs was able to come into our building and offer additional support to those teachers who had completed those 30 hours. Our focus for the district has been Essential 5, which is explicit instruction in letter, sound, and relationships. Instruction should be verbally precise and involve multiple channels, including oral, visual, tactile, and kinesthetic, so that we're reaching all of those learning styles. It should be formed by careful observation. It utilizes assessments. It should be taught systematically, and it should be aligned with the K-3 standards. It should provide opportunities for students to apply phonics knowledge, and it should be reinforced through coaching children during their reading time. If you see here, we have some pictures of our Phonics First training. And as I stated, we had about 59 staff members to participate. And this shows just some activities that took place. I was a part of those myself. It was very interactive, and it was very knowledgeable as well. After the training, we conducted a survey, and we wanted to get some feedback on how the staff felt about the training. And we did receive a lot of positive feedback. For instance, one person said, "This training has been very helpful. I feel I can have a better grasp on what to look for when doing classroom walkthroughs." And then also another person said, "I needed that missing piece of the puzzle." And so we were able to get some positive feedback on that particular training. The next thing is, even though that we had our focus is Essential 5, we also are focusing on some parts of Essential 10, where it says collaboration with families, caregivers, and the community in promoting literacy. We have been inviting in families and the community members to support literacy in our schools and support them with literacy at home. We have been supporting families in fostering academic literacy learning at home and in after school settings. For instance, such as the Whitman Winterfest, where we came through and we were able to train the parents on how to use the Phonics First resource at home with their students. All right, if you see here, again, these are some additional pictures. We were able to train and support about 20 families on that night. And if you are able to see, we gave out each family a Phonics First resource kit, and we also trained them on that. And then again, we conducted surveys, and we got some really good feedback on that as well. All right, some additional needs. We are in need of some coaching support for teachers. We currently have one K-3 Leo coach, and that's me. And I am serving all 7 schools. And that program is funded by Oakland Schools. And then we also needed some more additional dedicated time for teachers, because research suggests that after training, you need at least an additional 50 hours of instruction, practice, and coaching. What's ahead? In the near future, we are planning Phonics First training for the remaining of the teachers who have not been trained yet. We are planning to train some teachers in essential practices. We want to provide Haggerty training for K through 2 teachers. We want to conduct some teacher labs. We have been in some simulations at Oakland Schools, and so we would like to do that coming up soon. We would like to participate in some data digs where we are analyzing data so we can use that information to help us with instruction in the classroom and supporting the teachers. And then we also want to develop a comprehensive literacy assessment system for the district as well. And at this time, I thank you for letting me take up your time. And if you have any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Okay, Madam Secretary.
I want to just commend you, Ms. Jeter, for your work with this, especially engaging the parents, because we know that research shows that when parents are engaged in their child's success, it really does make a big difference in their academic output. So congratulations to you, and thank you for incorporating this. I know if we get more parents trained and more parents engaged, then we can really improve the literacy for our students here in the district. So thank you.
All right. Okay. All right. I do have a question, and this one is often, literacy is talked about a lot throughout the community and just what the district is doing in itself. And I'm not asking, I mean, we talk about it at board retreats and we get a wealth of knowledge of it. When someone wants to help contribute to what we're doing around literacy, how can they assist in that? And meaning organizations since I think 2 years ago, they being the state of Michigan Department of Ed, when they talked about third graders having to read at a certain level, and that was the expectation, to read at a certain level. And then you had all of these pop-up community nonprofits. You had people coming in, because there was a lot of funding around it. Mm-hmm. And they said, hey, we involved in literacy, and we want to spearhead literacy in Pontiac. And it was like, and they were trying to dictate to, I would just use me for an example of why should I choose them to do literacy across our district, et cetera. They never had any data supporting anything that they had done and things of that nature, but it doesn't mean that they didn't have certain tools or skill set that they could use. Can we start to think about, or is there a space where those individuals can be guided to properly have tools that we use, that we know that's effective, to educate our children? The assumption is always somebody always has the best practice, right? And that we just, you wonderful people who have been here for decades and 10 years, are just sitting here, and you've done the work. How do we continue to bring them into the fold to say, this is how we do what we do around literacy? How do we begin to do that? Or is that something, think about that, but then also if there's something like that, what is that?
And I would say one thing that we do, we partner a lot with Kensington Church. Mm-hmm. And the very first question they ask is, what do you need? What are your literacy goals? What do you need? What are you working on? And then they use that to build what they need to do, kind of thing. So I think coming to us asking, what do we already have in place? And not assuming that there's not anything in place, because we do have a lot of strong things in place. Okay. So just asking those questions and then having those conversations about how do what we have available to them fits into what we're already doing. Because I don't want people to assume that there is nothing that we're doing. We're doing a lot of wonderful things, mm-hmm. but they may have things that may work with us. They just have to ask those questions about what are we doing.
Okay. So I want to be able to put a face to, so it's fair to say, when it comes down to literacy in the district, you're our department for that. And so with that being said, if you can just look in that camera, introduce yourself, that way we can put that information out there, because I want to begin to put a face to what our program looks like. You are real. And that whatever literacy program, when people come and bring us all types of programs and packets, I can refer them to your information and say, check with her to make sure that what you're doing fits into what we do. And to have the accountability piece to our building leaders, that they need not to have programs or have situations that happen without coming through you first. And if we have a question as a board about literacy, we know exactly who we need to say, hey, did you talk to this person? And no, there's no need to come to board governance to get us to buy into your program without speaking with this individual first. So if you can introduce yourself to the community, I'll be so forever grateful. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Felicia Jeter. I'm the K-12 Literacy Supervisor for Pontiac School District. And everything I select goes along with the goals and has to meet the standards of the state of Michigan.
Awesome. And we now approve this message. Thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time and presenting to us today and joining us. And if you would continue to stay, we appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to move down to discussion item Leaders in Learning Consulting. Dr. Leverett, the meeting is now yours.
Thank you, President Garrett. Leaders in Learning Consultant, LLC. The purpose of this service is to provide planning and facilitation of full implementation of academic MTSS as part of a multi-phase project, which is multi-tiered system of support. When we talk about the academics, the social emotional, and student attendance, this is funding would be from ESSER 3. And it is a recommendation of administration that the Board of Education approve the contract with Leaders in Learning Consultant LLC in an amount not to exceed $30,213. And that work would encompass working with our central office staff as well as the coaches and the team out in the building around MTSS.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much. Going to move down. Any questions from the board at this time?
One quick one.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hold on one second.
Yes.
Trustee Terry. No. You're the treasurer.
Go ahead.
It's money.
One question. What school, I'm sorry, what school is gonna be the first phase?
Our, so Harrington, Whitman, those would be the schools that we would start with
For
in
the
terms
first
of
phase?
priority.
Okay. So,
Yes.
okay, so those three, okay.
Mm.
And then the second one, just reviewing the contract, is this like a weekly, 1 day a week type thing, or how does that work?
So it would vary based on when we have a chance to sit down and talk with her, but we looked at it being weekly, bi-weekly, some virtual and some in person, yes. So I believe we talked about twice a month in person and then twice virtually.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Vice President.
Thank you, sir. I thought you was going to forget me. You said that this was paid by ESSER dollars. ESSER dollars, correct?
Correct.
And this goes into the end of the school year.
That's correct.
If the question of concern that if things go accordingly and we look to renew them, we are no longer using ESSER dollars, correct? Because everything has to be done by September 30th.
That is
We would
correct.
Look at another financial source if we were to renew them for next school year.
Correct. But potentially the understanding is that we know that it ends in June, and that, as you stated, that we would look for other funding sources, or that the systems that would be put in place for the district would suffice, and we would no longer need those services moving forward.
And you will be the evaluator of how well the program is done?
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. That was very strong. Mr. Vice President, you starting off the year right. Okay. We're going to move down to action item approval of Leaders in Learning Consulting LLC. Need a motion on the floor, please.
So moved.
Support. So moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by the Vice President Gross. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
And President Garrett.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. We're going to move down to regular work and agenda of the board. The discussion item, under 2A, we're going to move to Dr. Kimberly Leverett as interim superintendent. That's going to be an action item as well. Need a motion on the floor?
So moved.
Support.
So moved by Trustee Bowman, supported by Trustee Davis Smith. This is officially making Dr. Kimberly Leverett the interim superintendent of the Pontiac School District. Madam Secretary, roll call.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith.
Yes.
President Garrett.
All right. Yes.
MVP Gross.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that board decision. Going to move down to decision and action item B. I put a motion on the floor to make Marvin Beasley as interim facility director. Need a motion on the floor.
So moved.
So moved by Trustee Davis Smith,
Support.
supported by Trustee Bowman. Going down to action item to make Marvin Beasley as the interim facilities director. Madam Secretary, when you're ready. Roll call.
Treasurer Terry,
Yes.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
VP Gross,
Yes.
and I'm voting yes.
All right, thank you. Going to move down to discussion and action item. Approval of termination of the R&J Consulting contract for discussion and action item. Need a motion on the floor.
So moved.
Support. So moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Vice President Gross. Questions, comments, or concerns? This is to start the approval of the termination of the R&J Consulting contract. Madam Secretary, when you're ready, roll call.
Trustee Bowman,
Yes.
Trustee Kraft,
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith,
Yes.
President Garrett,
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. And Treasurer Terry
Yes.
passes 7-0.
All right, thank you. We want to move down to finance items, report, budget amendment number 1, presentation. Our wonderful Mr. Pete, how you doing, sir? I am great. I am great. This is our first budget amendment. And I'm just going to say for the first time in a very long time, I'm not nervous about it. Thank you.
All right, yeah, there we go. Okay, so here we have our budget amendment number 1, the general fund.
We do need some batteries.
All right, there we go. Okay, general fund, adopted budget. So back in June, the budget adoption had a surplus of $239,000. That resulted in year-end fund balance of $18.2 million after the $5.4 million in net income we received in 22-23 that was audited by Yo and Yo. Obviously, it's a nice cushion going into the potential fiscal cliff once the ESSER's dollars run out. So we had various assumptions to get to this original budget back in June. The first was that we would fill general ed core teacher staffing and half of special education and half special teacher openings. The other assumption was that we assumed full operations of all support services and that we had steps for all staff and a 2.8% minimum wage schedule increase per the wage formula based on taxable value. So those were the assumptions back in June. If we go to our next slide, we have new assumptions based on new information at this point in time. So if you look at the major revenue changes, we have a decrease of $620,000 in projected property tax revenues because of some border review adjustments and Michigan tax tribunals. We have an increase of $400,000 in expected interest earnings because of higher interest rates, and also that $9.1 million electric bus grant that we've received the money on, and we're getting about $39,000 in monthly interest, so that's a positive. And then we had a new categorical that we did not know about in June of $283,000 for transportation reimbursement for fuel costs, inflation costs, and transportation expenses. On the expenditure side, we have changes in a few areas. So we reduced our open positions, meaning we didn't fill all of them, so we had a net savings of $325,000. We've had an increase in $100,000 in homeless transportation costs. An increase of $200,000 for 2 electric buses that were delayed in shipment, should have been shipped last year, were shipped this year, so we have to expense them this year instead of last year. And then we have an increase of $150,000 for strategic planning initiatives, increase of $130,000 for emergency loan interest. We did not budget for the interest in the budget because we assumed the interest would be forgiven at the start of the year versus the end of the year, so we still have to pay the interest this year.
Okay, quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said $100,000 increase in homeless transportation. Exactly what is homeless transportation and how's that?
Well, we pay other districts apparently to help transport the students that are considered homeless from what I see.
Okay. So you said we pay other districts or we pay transportation services?
for them to transfer kids to us.
You want me to explain?
Okay.
No, hold on. Yeah, I mean,
when there's a student that is currently living in another district and their last place of home was the Pontiac School District and they want to continue to attend the school, then that district transports the students to our district and we cover the cost of that transportation based on where they came from. I've had many kids who have been that was in Birmingham schools but came from Waterford. So Birmingham transported them back to Waterford schools, but Waterford had to pay Birmingham for transporting them. So we have kids who live in other districts that are coming still here, but we have to pay for it in the other districts transport. Correct?
So is that a?
I'm going to add to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Also, there are situations where we have students who reside in Pontiac School District, but for whatever reason, we don't have a particular service that the child needs, and they have to go to another school. I know, like like Birmingham. Birmingham has this really specialized deaf and hearing program, and sometimes we can't accommodate the kid, so the kid will go to Birmingham. The student will go to Birmingham, and we will pay the transportation costs.
Okay. Now, I was aware of that, but I wasn't aware. I mean, so that wouldn't be according to the state of Michigan's MBO processes of how we're able to classify line items. Is just all of that is just put under homeless transportation. My assumption.
Right. Yeah, we have line item for it.
Okay. All right. That's all. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you.
Okay, so after we net everything together, the change from that $239,000 surplus goes to $207,000. So only a $32,000 decrease after we net everything out. That's minimal. So that's good. We don't like large fluctuations in our projected surplus. So our next chart here shows our general fund, all the sub-funds that we have that make up the total general fund. We have 5 of them. So 110 is general operations. Then we have a separate fund for grants for federal and state that will be title at risk and ESSER funding. We have a special education fund for federal IDA flow through and local PA18 special ed revenue. We have the athletics fund, and then we have the general fund debt, which is your TAN, your emergency loans, and your energy loan that we have in there. The current general fund budget obviously is supplemented by ESSER dollars, as we know about 65 million over the last 4 years, set to expire September 30th. So we have to prepare for that as we move forward. And the budgets will all be amended again in June. We'll have more precise estimates, but this is our best estimate at this point in time. So our general fund revenue, the pie chart, just to summarize where we're at. So local revenue, which is your property taxes, is 39% or 43.3 million. Your state revenue is 21.1 million or 19%. So that's common in a district that's out of formula, as we are. You're going to get a lot more local revenue than state. In formula, you're going to be just the opposite. Federal revenue, 32.1 million or 29%. That's again your ESSER title IDA flow through. And other financing sources, which would be your TAN for the most part in there. So overall, your composition of general fund revenue after the budget amendment looks reasonable for an out of formula district that has a lot of ESSER money. Then we have our general fund expenditures. Here we have several categories. At the start, or at the top, we have instruction. Again, any district, that's going to be your number one expense item because of teacher salaries, compensation, classroom supplies, subs, purchase services, and so forth. So that's 39%. Supporting services is 11%, which is your added needs, your special education cost, counselors, therapists, supervisors. Then you have general administration at 2%, which is your superintendent and curriculum offices and includes legal fees. And then school administration, which is your principals, assistant principals, secretaries, graduation. That's 4.2 million. Then you have your business, which is your business office, property tax, abatements, and bank fees at 1.4 million. Operations and security is 9.9 million. That's your custodians, maintenance, utilities, and security officers. And transportation, 6.4 million. That's the bulk of the first student cost that we pay out for the contracting and fuel. And then central support, which is your technology, HR, and communications department, is at $6.7 million. So again, in terms of the composition after the budget amendment, that would be reasonable to expect instruction and supporting services to be at the top of the pie chart. Then we go to the actual amendment page for the general fund. So the column on the left is the actual for 22-23 audited by Yo and Yo. We see here we have the net surplus of 5.4 million, the fund balance of 18, so that's 18.1%, which we're very happy to have. The second column is the budget we adopted in June, which shows the $239,000 surplus. Column 3 is the amendment that we're looking at today. It's proposed, and you'll be voting on at the next board meeting. That's showing, again, the net surplus going down slightly to $207,000. Your fund balance still 18.2 million, about 18.1%, really not much change. Again, the net decrease in everything is about 32,000, so minimal change in total, which is good. We're being more consistent. Now we have the food service fund. So here we have the two pie charts, revenue expenditures after the amendment. So 93.1% of our food service revenues are federal revenues, the federal meal claims. Again, that's very common in districts, especially with a CEP district and with high free and reduced applications. On the expenditure side, you're going to get mostly food services, which is your food service workers and food costs. That's at 96.8%. We also have $100,000 as a indirect cost charge to the general fund to cover central office expenses. Overall, revenues 3.2 million, expenditures 3.1 million. If we go to the budget page, so again, we have the 4 columns. The column on the left is what was audited. The key takeaway here is the net surplus is actually a deficit of 360,000 from last year, giving us a very small fund balance. So obviously we had issues that we're working on right now. We didn't make any change yet at this point. We're just have a budget surplus of 30,000, but so far we're trading much more positively in food service, plus 150,000, I'd say. So the hope is that if we can't flip that number to positive 360, we'll maybe get to 200 or 250. But we're monitoring as we go along. We're done a better job of meal participation and management and point of sale systems and employee attendance. So we're doing a better job, but we still have work to do here. The Student Activity Fund accounts for the fundraising activities of the district. So everything in terms of revenue is going to be local, which is your fundraising revenue and donations. And then you're going to have your basic programs, which is the expenditures related to these student activities. So pretty much the same on both sides there. On the amendment page, no changes here. The only thing of note here in column 3 at the bottom, you got projected ending fund balance of 177,000, which is a good cushion to have to pay out for these student activities coming up. Now we get into our debt funds for Series 1. This is the one for $104 million. So again, the way your debt funds work, you collect property taxes to make your principal interest payments on the debt. So obviously, pretty much everything on the revenue side is going to be property taxes. On the expense side, we've got bond principal and interest payments. So they're pretty close to $6 million on both sides of the equation there. The amendment, we just made a slight change for interest earnings there, an increase of 100,000. This is again to fund the $104 million debt. One item to note here on the far right is you see funding is provided by the 2 mill property tax levy. So Series 1 has 1.62 mills allocated to it. Series 2.38 for a total of 2 mills. That's determined by Baird, our municipal advisor. And another note here is the 2 mills is the lowest in Oakland County as of right now. We do have 925,000 there in column 3 as our fund balance. So we have a healthy fund balance for principal and interest payments. So our debt fund Series 2, same kind of story. Property taxes make up the bulk of our revenues. We have principal interest. No principal yet. This is a new issue we had last year, so principal will be starting next year. But this funds the $25 million portion of our bonded debt. And on the expenditure or the amendment page, the only takeaway there, nothing had to change. At the bottom, we have a surplus of fund balance of 95,000. So that's positive to start out with. Now we have our sinking fund, which is for non-recurring repairs, building improvements, renovations. It's a 5-year millage of 0.8 mils for about $3 million per year. And again, almost all of your revenues are going to be for property taxes. On the expenditure side, obviously building improvements that we make with our sinking fund. This year we focus more on the science labs at the high school and middle school locations. On the amendment page, again, made an increase of about $200,000 for interest income, and we put a placeholder in building improvements for about $2 million for additional work with labs or whatever we want to, or potentially transfer some money over to the bond funds as we have projected about $11 million in the next few years. Our fund balance is $4.8 million in column 3 there. Again, that's a healthy fund balance to have moving forward for the next few years. So we have bond or capital projects fund series 1. We have interest earnings of $250,000. The revenue side, we made a transfer from series 2 of $8.6 million for ESSER's monies to basically balance the series 1 fund moving forward. On the expenditure side, we have obviously a big chunk for building improvements pursuant to the bond, furniture, equipment, and professional fees. The amendment page, again, the big change was the top with revenues where we transferred $8.6 million in ESSER's money to Series 1 from Series 2. We also had some increases in building improvements and furniture and equipment. The bottom line is we have a positive fund balance of $159,000. The state requires that. We can't show negative fund balances in these bonds. So anything we have, we close out, we carry over to Series 2 and 3. And here we have Series 2 of our capital projects fund. So again, we have interest earnings of $500,000. We have building improvements of 43.1%. We have furniture and equipment, and we have the ESSER transfer that we talked about going from Series 1 to Series 2, and some professional fees. On the amendment page, the only item of change there is, again, that ESSER money transfer going from Series 1, or from Series 2 to Series 1. We show a fund balance of $7.6 million, but that'll be steadily eaten into as we move into future years and future projects as we've discussed. And last but not least, we have the self-insurance fund for workers' comp, unemployment, and property general liability. Our local revenue consists mostly of fees charged to other funds, other district funds, and our expenses are claims for workers' comp, unemployment, and property general liability. We have about $1 million of revenue and expenditures that we're budgeting for this year. In our amendment page, we just made a change for local fees. We increased that $135,000 because of increased claims. And we're also anticipating some increased expenditures for workers' comp and property casualty insurance. Column 3 at the bottom, we're still showing a positive fund balance of $860,000. That's a good cash reserve to have for future claims. And that's it.
All right, thank you. This is brought to you for presentation and just discussion at this time. We'll take action probably in February. We're in budget cycle and budget season, so we haven't had a chance to really walk you through pretty much the process of how we do it. Typically, we'll do the first budget amendment. We like it a little bit earlier, but we had that transitional piece. And then we'll go into our budget hearings, budget meetings, where to be board governance meetings on Thursdays, and then we'll start walking through the budget district, not district by district, but department by department, if you will, as we go into that second budget amendment. And then we'll go into the second budget amendment and improve the current budget probably around the same time. So we'll get those dates. We'll get with administration here, and then we'll also have a board retreat at the end where we get, where we kind of come to the final conclusions of what we want to happen. So we'll look forward to that particular presentation, and thank you so much. Any questions from the board? Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. P. We're going to move down to General Counsel and Human Resource Construction Management Contract. Mr. Seeger, the meeting is yours.
Okay. Superintendent, Ms. Dr. Leverett. Regarding the approximate $52 million balance of the 2020 $147 million capital bond program, the district solicited a request for proposal from 3 construction manager firms. All of these firms had significant experience in school bond construction projects. On Monday, January 8th, 2024, the Administrative Review Committee, comprised of the district's finance, legal, facilities, and technology departments, opened and reviewed the proposals. It was the group consensus to, and his administration's recommendation to, award the $52 million balance of the capital bond program of the capital bond program construction manager contract to SACSE, SACHSE. Not only did SACSE have the lowest net cost for services, we believe they are best equipped to provide us with the highest level of services, which will benefit our students, staff, and community. The district's legal counsel has been negotiating the contract on behalf of the superintendent's office and the Board of Education. It is administration's recommendation to approve the enclosed contract with a not to exceed fee of 1.95% plus permitted personnel reimbursable rates and general condition items, which we believe provides good value at a competitive cost. It is the recommendation, therefore, of administration that the Board of Education approve, 1, the contract as presented, and 2, the administration to take any necessary action to wind up any services currently being provided by any other construction manager firm regarding the 2020 bond project. I would also add that the district's business office, Mr. Basili, specifically has checked all the references of all the companies, and as it relates to SACSE specifically, received glowing remarks from multiple school districts. And I would also add that there are 3 representatives from SACSE here tonight if the board would have any questions of them, as a Mr. Ron Henry, Mr. Jay McKee, and a Mr. Cody Farber, who will in fact be the on-site project coordinator. Okay. We're going to move down to questions from the board after hearing the bear. It was in your packet. Very thick packet, I might ask. A lot of work. You guys have been quite busy, huh? Quite busy. So if one representative would take the podium, I appreciate it. And any questions from the board?
Just a comment. If I may, just a comment.
No, not you. Not you.
Oh, whenever. Okay.
No.
Okay. Good.
No, you don't get to ask questions of contract management companies. You typically always get in arguments with them. So, no. Anybody else outside of the vice president who has a question for this gentleman who's here to answer any questions? Okay, we're going to leave it to the vice president. Okay, thank you, sir. Be kind, and you have 2 minutes. Ms. Wright,
No,
you can start your clock. No, I'm just playing. Go ahead.
No. Thank you. In this district, it's extremely important to us, the work that is being done for our students. And I respect the fact that every party in this room here ensured that bringing your company on board will be in our best interest. We are a board who, I'll be nice, that we're very inquisitive. We ask questions, and there's specific expectations that we like to see because we believe that our kids are the best and the work being done for the students is the best. So it is my impression, based on the recommendation, that we're bringing on the best to ensure that all of the needs are being met for our students. That's my comment. I didn't have that opportunity in the past. I wasn't on the board, but I'm here now, and I want to make sure that we understood that. And I thank you for stepping up to the plate, and let's make this thing happen. Once approved, if approved, and let's get it done. And let's get it done the right way. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Going once? Okay. I do. You guys come with an exceptional resume. Why this challenge?
We are very committed to.
You take your mic. I'm sorry. So they, yeah.
As a company, Saxy Construction is very committed to every project, any client that we work with throughout North America, regardless of the project type. K through 12 schools are near and dear to the heart of many of us within the organization, myself included. Having started out my career as an architect doing K through 12 schools, we know that your money is very important, and we will be stewards of your bond issue funds to make sure that you get what you're looking for in these projects in the time frame that you need these completed in, and to afford the students of this district wonderful learning opportunities. So we take great pride in the type of work that we do, so much so that we guarantee that you will be pleased with our performance at the end of our project. You'll see that in the contract, and we put a great team forward, and we look forward to working closely with all of you for the good of the district.
Okay, thank you. I'll ask that question later. It was kind of, you guys helped design the Gucci store, correct?
We didn't design it. We built the new Gucci store in downtown
I
Detroit.
just wanted to, sorry, I had it. You know.
My wife's not listening.
Right.
I haven't checked the drawings, but I don't think it looks exactly like that, but we'll make it beautiful. All of your projects.
Okay, I'm going to yield my remarks. Madam Secretary had a question.
Communication is very important for us. And so how can you ensure that, or will you ensure that you have a communication plan in place to keep us abreast of all the updates or any changes that will take place in the projects?
With any project, communication is pivotal to its success. Myself as your principal or project executive, and Cody Farber as your project manager, we will make sure that we are constantly communicating with you through meeting minutes, through attendance at owner, architect, contractor meetings, and having a presence throughout the course of the project. So we will be your source of information. Cody is your primary point of contact, and we assure you that we will be here throughout the course of the project, and you will know when decisions need to be made, and you will know what the schedule is for those decisions, and you will also know why it's so important that these decisions are made along the way. And then also what information we provide to you will be very clear, legible, understandable, where everybody that's involved in the project will be coordinating with Pete through the course of this project, and believe that we have a process in place that we've had for our 33 years now of existence as a construction manager that will be effective here in Pontiac.
All right. Thank you. Okay, with that being said, thank you so much. Thank you, sir, for taking the time. Appreciate you. I'm going to move down to approval of construction management contract. Need a motion on the floor.
So moved.
So moved by Vice President Gross, supported by Trustees Shaquana Davis Smith. Questions, comments, or concerns? Hearing none. I don't have any questions, comments, or concerns. Okay. Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
Trustee Davis Smith. President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
And Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
Passes 7-0.
All right. Thank you. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much. If we're going to move down now to communications, petitions, and delegations, Mr. Vice
Sir,
President.
we have none tonight.
Are you kidding me?
No.
I
looked for some. I even went outside.
I'm going to change that. I'm really going to change that. We're going to move down to board comments and announcements. I'm going to start with Trustee Kraft. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Chair. Good evening, everyone that's looking and listening out in the audience and the people that are present. We had a wonderful meeting tonight, and especially with the young.
Is your mic on?
No.
Not with the young individuals that were awarded with certificates tonight, and it just makes us proud just to be here and be a part of that. And and it's a wonderful thing for us. And I like to also go back and think about just like this weekend also. Our Lions. I want to go into our Lions. I got to talk about the Lions. I'm the sports guy, but I want to talk about the Lions, and I want to. We never been this far, and I like to just. I'm a Lion fan. I'm a little shuck up right here, but I really didn't have much to say. But I like to say I like to thank everybody for showing up at our meeting and have a wonderful week.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Trustee Bowman, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you for asking. I would like to say that this has been a fantastic meeting, and again, thank you for the beautiful recognition gifts that we've received. I would like for everybody to just be mindful on how we treat people and how we interact with others. You never know what someone may be going through. Continue to be positive and prosper. Have a great evening. Good night.
All right. Thank you. Trustee Shaquana Davis Smith, how you doing, ma'am?
Fine, and you?
I'm good.
Good evening. I wanted to just say congratulations to our student and staff again. Pontiac Middle School is rocking this season out, and I'm proud of you guys. Also, I just want to say thank you again to the staff and human resources for our beautiful gifts. Again, you guys are the ones who actually does all the work, so I really appreciate you guys. And that's it. Have a great night, everyone.
Treasurer
All right.
Marcus.
Good
Terry.
evening, everybody.
How you doing, sir?
Not bad. How about yourself?
I'm good. You look so calm.
Another day in paradise. Good evening once again. Just want to say thank you for all of the gifts. I'm grateful. To be working with a good team and to have all of that talent out there and to continue to show all of that gratitude and being examples, and the students are showing it and they're doing their thing as well. So thank you for the gifts. Thank you for all of the hard work. And then in addition to that, go Lions. Let's see them get to that Super Bowl this year. I don't want to jinx them, so everybody just wear your gear when they go to play. And then outside of that, I just want to say thank you and have a good night. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, good.
Good. Again, just thanks to the Pontiac School District for supporting and acknowledging the board with your kind gifts. We do appreciate it. And I just want to add again, thinking back to Felicia Jeter's report, how important it is for our parents to be supportive of their kids' academics. So we just want to continue to encourage our parents to be engaged and to be involved in the work and the learning of their students. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Yeah, spoken like a true doctor. I
She's on her way.
can't wait to April. Vice President, how you doing, sir?
Good, sir. Good
All
evening.
right, you have no comments for tonight. So, thanks everybody for coming. Thank
That's
you.
right.
Appreciate it. Go ahead, sir.
No. Thank you, sir. I don't want to step on your toes, and tonight has been a wonderful evening of what we're doing here. Again, I'm very appreciative of this, and although you don't have to do that, because our enjoyment is doing what we do for you. But hey, this don't hurt. Give them their flowers while they're here. We appreciate this, all jokes aside. We made some changes tonight, and I want to commend Dr. Leverett for accepting responsibility of stepping up. Thank you. Mr. Beasley, thank you, sir, for the willingness to step up to that position. It's always wonderful when you can bring your home folks in. We thank you. We thank you guys for being here. Anything that needs to be discussed, there's a route to take, but take that route and let's do it. We believe in you. We believe in this district. We believe in what we're doing. Because remember, our precious commodity for this district is our kids. If we don't take care of the kids, no one in this room will be sitting here. The top selling car in General Motors is the Cadillac. They are not going to put a Chevy motor in a Cadillac. They're going to put the best, whatever they can, in the Cadillac. Our kids are Escalades, top of the line. As long as we continue to do what we do, we go through the formalities, we appreciate everything, we go through things, we see things that are happening that we may not agree with, but trust and believe from this board, there's a reasoning on why we do what we do. And the number one reason that we all have together is to the best for our children. It ain't about us. You can say, Vice President Gross is a bad guy because, so-and-so is not here anymore. So-and-so is gone. And you can say what you want, but there's a reasoning behind what Vice President Gross and other board members do. What we do is to ensure that our kids have the best. Doesn't bother me to hear those things, but I'm going to preach you the same old sermon. I'm doing what I'm doing to ensure that our children, from preschool all the way to high school to adult ed, this is why we do what we do. It's not for publicity. I've told you this is my 12th year. I've done this. Whether I came back to this board or not, I can still walk in the room and they say, hey, there's Mr. Gross. It ain't about that. It's not about positions. It's not about titles. It's not about coming in here and making friends with everybody. It's about doing what's best for our children. That's why I came back. That's why I'm staying. That's why I believe. That's why I care. I appreciate all of you. But if you're not here for the best interest of our children, I can't support you. It was not my intent to preach to all of you, but it's from my heart. Because I'm going to keep doing what I have to do to ensure that all of our children, not the ones I like, the ones that are cute, or the ones that are smart or smarter, because all our children are smart. But it's for every child in this district. Appreciate your time and your willingness to listen. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir. It's about 8:03 right now, so we still have a choice about if we're going to keep schools open or not. So we'll let you guys know if that's going to happen or not. Thank you, everyone, for coming. My wonderful partners over at Kensington, thank you so much. You always bring a comfort when you're here and you're around. So thank you for always being here for us. To our new teammates in the construction space, thank you for taking the challenge. We understand what that looks like, but we also understand that the sacrifice on both ends, right? So for us to be successful, that means we have to be teammates, and that's what we are now. We're teammates. We're in it. I believe in strong relationships and strong communications, and it's a two-way street. So do not feel, again, this is not your usual school district where board members are not actively involved. We actively live, our families work, our kids attend. They are in this district. And so it behooves us to to make sure that we have and do the right things on the behalf of our students. I serve with a wonderful group of men and women that I'm willing to go to the front lines with anybody against any school district in this country. I've proven it. We've taken them to, we've been across the country to receive awards, but then also before they even knew what our last names were, we let them know that Pontiac was standing tall. And so I don't serve by myself. I may sit on a national chair and I may sit on a state chair, but I don't do it alone. And my teammates are my teammates, and I depend on them. And we're going to serve this district in the best way that we know how. And we're going to learn from every single opportunity that is given to us. Now, we did have to make some changes, but having a succession plan doesn't mean that the plan stops. And so thank you to everyone who is deciding to say we're going to continue to move forward, but we're also going to continue to learn and bring your skill sets. Ms. D, I know they're going to miss you over there at Kennedy. We just want to say thank you so much for coming downtown and sharing your expertise. We know that things are not always what they appear to be, but yet and still, we thank you for allowing you to be here. To our principals, to our teachers, our administrators, the hard workers, the people who do the work, thank you so much. Thank you for moving in the spaces that need to be moved in. I have an open door policy. I have a telephone number that I give out all the time, 248-892-8200. My social media presence is probably one of the largest in the country. If not, I'm going to get there to some very heavy followers, but I know I'm pretty big in Pontiac. I'm not hard to find. I'm not hard to reach. I don't hide. I don't duck. If you have something that you want to say or you have something just to get it off your chest, I'll listen, right? But make no mistake about it. We're not scared of nothing, of nobody when it comes down to our kids. I'm going to go to war for these babies. I'm 26 years in law enforcement. I started at a very, very young age. I love my job. I love what I do on behalf of education. And I never thought both law enforcement and education would combine, but they did. And so for me, I count it all joy. It is a huge mantle. But I take this anointing and I take this promise and I take this call in the heart. And so I thank you for allowing me to do it and do it with you. And so God bless you all. Be safe, drive well. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this page. Share the first part of it, right? So you get to see some of the amazing things that our students are doing. I appreciate y'all. I need a motion on the floor to adjourn.
Support.
Moved by Trustee Davis Smith, supported by Trustee Bowman. I beat Mrs. Wright clock. Roll call, please.
Trustee Davis Smith. Yes. President Garrett.
Yes.
VP Gross.
Yes.
I'm voting yes. Treasurer Terry.
Yes.
Trustee Bowman.
Yes.
And Trustee Kraft.
Yes.
7-0.
All right. Thank you. We're now adjourned at 8:08 p.m. Go Lions.
Right.
Right now, if y'all didn't want to give up, go refresh.